Welcome to my channel, One at a Time. Today I am showing you the process of making the Lego Ninjago Ninja Cole. He's the black ninja for Lego. And here you can see the minifigure that I used as inspiration for this costume. We used one yellow t-shirt, one gray t-shirt, two black t-shirts. One of those is the child size t-shirt that we attached everything to that my son wore. And then we used double fold bias tape. We used 7/8 inch wide of the yellow, 1/2 inch wide of the gray, and then the normal supplies you would use for sewing: scissors, thread, sewing machine, that sort of thing. So let's get right in and start.
So I've taken this large adult black t-shirt and I've just drawn on the pattern piece. Basically, it is a front piece for the t-shirt that is kind of an overlay. So here's the picture of the guy. Get that in focus. So we're making this piece on the side. So I just freehanded with some soap right on the shirt, and now I'm cutting it out. So what I've done is, after I cut out the overlay piece, I have attached a gray bias binding around the edges. The shirt underneath is the shirt I will be attaching it to, that my son will wear. And how I'm going to attach this is, I'm just figuring out the placement right now, is I'm going to make a stitch across the shoulder to hold it there, and then come down the arm and then down the side of the shirt. So I did not make this shirt. If I made it from scratch, I would just insert the overlay and sew it in the seams, but since I didn't, I'm just going to top stitch around the edge. It's jersey, so I don't have to worry about fraying, and that is why I picked jersey. So I'm just trying to figure out the placement right now, where I want it to sit on the shirt. Alright, so I'm working on the kind of the badge or the decal that's on the front of this overlay. The minifigure for Lego has like a cyclone and a lion head, and that is not something that I feel like I can recreate. So I talked to my son and we decided to do a big gray circle with a golden J for his initial. And so I'm going to first attach the J to the gray, and then I'll take the gray and attach it to the overlay. I'm just going to attach it to the single layer. It's not going to go all the way through to the inside of the t-shirt, but that's the next step. Okay, so the badge is attached now to that overlay, and so what I need to do, or what I'm going to do, is just sew, so you can't see that, down this neck piece right here to hold it, to keep it from sagging. It'll just hold it in place. So I'll take some black thread and just stitch along that black to hold it in place. And then I will switch my thread and I will get the gold, and so I can attach these pieces of gold bias tape, and they are just meant to look like the clasp that he has. Get that to focus on his overlay. Where's that gonna focus at? Right there. So that's what those are. So I've got to put 3 of those on. And what I did is I cut, this is double fold bias tape that is 1/2 inch wide. And so I took a 5.5 inch piece of it and I folded the raw edges in. So I'm going to place it on here and just sew around the rectangle just to attach it. It'll hold the overlay and it'll look like a clasp. Okay, I have attached the yellow, or it's a gold actually, bias tape onto the shirt, and it looks really good. So next what I'm going to do is, these are short sleeves right here, and on this guy his sleeves are gray and the main part of his shirt is black. So we need to make those gray sleeves on there. And what I've decided to do, and I talked over with my son, is to just attach on here the rest of the sleeve to make it a long sleeve. So, and it will be gray. So it'll look like a layered tee, but he really likes those that I've made for him before like that, and so he's excited to have that on his costume. So I took the gray t-shirt, sorry I don't have a clip of that, and I cut out the sleeve. my sleeve pattern is on the fold. So what I did is I made it a little bit wider because he likes his a little bit wider, his sleeves, and it will fit into the existing sleeve better because we don't want any gather on it. So I've widened it by 5/8 of an inch all the way down, and I've also lengthened the sleeve by 2 inches to accommodate attaching it to the existing sleeve as well as the hem, so that we still get the length that we want, and it hits him at his wrist where he wants his sleeve to be. So after I cut it out, then what I'll do is I'll put right sides together and I'll just sew the seam right down here, down the side, and then the next step will be to hem it. I'm just going to do a 5/8 inch hem, and I'll just use my double needle to hem that, and we'll go that far. Okay, the sleeve extension, I guess is what I'm going to call it, is sewn on the seam and it's hemmed. So now what I'm going to do is just attach it, and so I will just put it inside, and I'll attach it like you do any set-in sleeve, and then I will just stitch it down with some black thread right on. I'm not going to be able to show you this, but let me see if it'll, there it goes. Okay, so I'm going to stitch it probably right along this bottom stitch, so it'll be double stitched, the black, but that will attach the gray and give a little lip still so that it will still look like a layered t-shirt. So that is the next step. The sleeve extensions are attached and they look really good. We think this costume looks pretty close to our inspiration, little Lego minifigure. So, yeah, that is what my youngest son will be wearing for his Halloween costume.